This is Caroline. I'm here with Conversations with Michael, Archangel Michael. Um, if anyone comes and wants to write a question in the chat, then we can do that. I was going to show you this morning in my meditation, I was learning about giving and receiving. If you can see that. So Spirit was telling me that the way everything is set up is that everything is based on a reciprocating relationship of giving and receiving. So we need both. We need to be engaged in both giving and receiving. And that's the way, not only the way that it works for people, it works for plants and other animals, it works for the whole ecosystem, it works for the whole universe. Everything is based on a relationship that is established on giving and receiving. Now, sometimes that's a little bit hard for people to do. Some people will be like, well, I'm a giver. And some people are like, I'm a taker. And so if we don't engage in this reciprocating giving and receiving, if we don't receive enough or if we don't give enough, then that's when taking will come in. So taking is an alternative, like second rate form of giving and receiving. But it's an attempt to be able to maintain that relationship of giving and receiving, but it's not a very elegant alternative. It's better than nothing, but it's not very good. So that if we don't receive, then taking is a form to force us to receive, kind of like almost like against our will. Something will be taken away from us so that we're forced to like get help or to, to not think that, we're only givers, that we don't need anybody else's help. Or if we're just like selfish receiving, we're not giving enough, we're not contributing enough, then taking will be enacted as a way of like forcing us to give. And so I thought that was like really interesting when I learned that this morning. And so I thought I would share that with you. And for each of us, like what Spirit has told us to before is that we must open our fists if we are to give and receive. We have to give with an open hand. We have to receive with an open hand. If our hands are closed, we can't really receive or give. And so the first step to enter into this reciprocating giving and receiving relationship is simply to open our hands. So that is like a yes. That is a yes to entering into relationship that is balanced giving and receiving. Now I'll say good morning to Michael. Good morning. He's really likes to be greeted. I think he just loves us so much, that he just wants to be involved in our lives on a kind of like overt level. Like he really likes that inclusion on an overt level. Do you have some wisdom or messages for us this morning, Michael? So what he's saying is, and he doesn't mean this in a mean way. He's like, I'm so tired of you asking for help all the time. Don't you remember that your help is within? Everything is within. And so what he's basically saying is that your gaze is, by looking at me, you're looking in the wrong direction. You're everything that you need is within, because you keep, when you're like, oh, Michael, can you have a conversation about this? Can you tell us about this? basically what I'm doing is like countervailing everything that he keeps saying, which is that everything is inside of you. Why do you keep putting me on the outside of you? Why do you keep asking me questions on the outside side of you? Like all one. So why am I doing that? He's saying it's because I want to look like I possess something special and I don't. That this everyone is equally connected to all that is, and all of us have internal resources equally. We all are connected to the divine equally. We all are communicating. We all have the capacity to communicate with the divine equally. And if there's someone who stands up and says, "Oh, let me ask your questions for you to the divine. Let me be an oracle. Let me be the voice of the divine for you and tell them what they have to say." Really what's happening is that you're truncating the other person's experience. I'm truncating the other person's experience. I'm saying, "Oh, oh my God, this is totally like this. Oh, let me do that for you. Let me give that to you." And so what's happening is in this video of conversations with Michael, I am effectually truncating uh, ev- other people's possibility of receiving direct communication from the divine themselves, because I'm putting myself in this position where I'm like, "Oh, let me ask the questions and explain that to you." And that's not right. That's not the way things should work. We are all equally connected. And so there's no need for me to be in some position that I'm putting myself in. I get it. So what should I do? So Michael's saying stand back, that I should stand back. This is like an artificial role that I've created for myself, and that it was beneficial for a time because it served a purpose. It served a purpose of bringing this message that the role is extraneous. It's not necessary, and furthermore, it's not useful, and it countervails reality, which is that we are all divine and we are all connected, and that we don't need an intermediary. So Michael's like, "This is what you should do: cease and desist immediately." Okay, so I'm going to do that. And so this is the last time that I'm live streaming conversations with Michael, because there's no need for it. There's no purpose. There's no point, because you have that capacity within you to connect directly with the divine. And there's nothing better than the connection that you have. Your connection with the divine, which is you, which is internal to you. It's not outside of you. It's not difficult to do. It is there. It is inborn in whoa. It is inborn in you. I guess I'm supposed to stop right now. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop explaining. That's it. All right. Thanks so much.